welcome back to the Gudonis podcast. This is episode 4. This week we have one guest. It's Tuguldur. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, what are you saying, guys? My name's Tuguldur. You can call me Tugi. I'm a Chinky, and I am 18. Is that it? I'm 18. Yeah, I think I'm 18, and I do medicine at a pretty decent university.
Listen here. He doesn't know his own age and he's doing medicine.
Right. What are we talking about, boss?
Medicine's hard, man. You wanna?
Medicine's hard.
Medicine.
It's been 3 weeks, yeah. I haven't done like a week of work. I've been stressing. I'm done already. But yeah, it's good. It's good though.
How many years to go?
Yeah, 6 or 9 if you want to do a PhD, but you know. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I read something that said if you do medicine, it costs like 250k to like finish a medicine course or whatever, to like actually become a doctor.
Let me do the math, man. 6 years, 6 times 9. What's 6 times 9? That is
69.
What? Alright, 69.
69.
69, and then add like 100k of like living expense. Yeah, that's like 150k in it. It's not too bad. It's a lot. It's like a house, but you know, it's not too bad.
Mm-hmm. But how much? What's the salary coming out of getting a doctorate?
Oh, first year it's 20k.
Wow.
That's not too great, is it? I
Yeah,
don't worry, man. I'm getting peas.
It increases exponentially, innit?
Exponentially, okay, yes, exponentially.
Exponentially.
But the one thing about being in the UK is, yeah, as a doctor, it's more expensive to train as a doctor, well, as a medical student, than any other degree. Like, you might be paying 9k for your university fees, but the expense of the university is at 12k to train you. It's more expensive than any other degree. So the government actually pays for that.
The whole thing.
But yeah, not the whole thing,
Or
like
the
a little bit.
3K.
Yeah, the excess.
It's interesting.
Mhm.
Is there anything else similar to that? I don't think there is.
Nah, engineering is pretty similar because you need labs and that as well, innit?
Oh yeah, true.
But every other degree, your uni's gonna make profit, but not much with medicine. But yeah.
Yeah, like it's one of the only careers that you have to go to uni to do the more specialized careers like engineering and medicine that what you're doing is you have to go to uni to get into the field.
Yeah.
Like other
Probably
things.
like, I'd say it's like the only one. Because there's like engineering, you can just go to an apprenticeship.
True.
Pretty chill. Dance, arts, you can do apprenticeships.
True.
What's something that you don't need to do an apprenticeship? You can't do an apprenticeship on
Medicine.
medicine, pretty much. Yeah. If I could do an apprenticeship, I'd do an apprenticeship. I'm telling you. But yeah.
Like a lot of people like know about the apprenticeship route, but like they're brainwashed to go to uni because they have like Asian parents or like that's what they're taught to do from young.
You have to specify Asian parents. But yeah.
try and tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's right. Basically, yeah. If anyone's hearing this, if you have Asian parents and they force you to go to uni, yeah, do what you want, trust me. You will not regret it. Do what you want. Do what you believe in, trust me.
Like I knew someone that said, "Oh, I would do an apprenticeship, but I have Asian parents and they're forcing me to go to uni." Like it's a bit.
Yeah, that's not great because when you come out of uni with a degree that you don't really like, it's not gonna help you, and you have that, and your parents are gonna pay for it. You're the one who's gonna pay for it.
True.
So basically, yeah, think hard about it. If you need to, take like a gap year or whatever, and then go in the right direction.
What do you think I'm doing? I'm sitting. Why? I'm sleeping till.
I don't know, like, it's a good thing you're taking a while, yeah, but like, at the same time, you're not really doing much with your time right now. Like, there's a difference between being productive and not doing anything. But you're getting better. You're getting better.
Listen, I'm doing a podcast.
You're getting better. Yeah, I like it. I like it. It's not the same as spending 4 hours every night on Fortnite.
I mean, I'm trying because currently at the moment, most apprenticeship they close their applications. Like, it's very hard to get an apprenticeship. I mean, it was very hard this whole year. There was no apprenticeships like running, and they've only just started opening up this like October, September kind of time. And I've been applying.
Yeah, that's what everyone's been saying.
Yeah, it's just difficult right now.
Yeah.
It's difficult for everyone.
Yeah.
But as soon as they're opening their doors now, so hopefully, fingers crossed, you get into an apprenticeship, get 20k a year.
20k a year.
20k a year.
That is a lot, man.
But I work hard. I'm trying.
Imagine you're doing an apprenticeship like that for like 5 years. You get like 100k in total. While you do uni, you get 100k in the opposite direction.
Yeah, true. It's not like I'm not doing anything right now. I'm actually an intern at a digital training company. Doing that for 3 months until I see I can get an opportunity to get an apprenticeship in the next possibly 3 months. Maybe next year, January. But we'll see.
You're doing something then. You're doing something.
Yes. There's a lot of people that are going to uni because like they see that's the only option, or like that's the, like, I don't know, it's like or you see all your friends going to uni and see like your application process, and everyone they just go to uni because they, it's the thing to do.
Social pressure and expectations, stuff like that.
For you, there was no question of going to uni, was there? Like, you was going to uni if you were doing what, biomed or medicine, or like
medicine. Yeah, both of those you need some kind of degree.
Dennis, he's doing business management, entrepreneurship. You could easily do an apprenticeship for that.
Yeah, you could. Or maybe he wants to uni. Like, you never know, man. Like, people got to do what they want at the same time.
Like, it's not only just school and what degree you get. It's like the social life you get there.
Yeah.
I mean, Tugi's got no social life.
Oh man, I've gone out like twice.
This is Tugi's situation. He's doing medicine for how long? 6 years, right?
6 years.
6 years, and he's commuting from Milton Keynes to London.
Every weekday.
Every day. At the moment, it's not every day because
it's not. Yeah.
He doesn't have any in-person lectures. He just has online classes. So he chose the right option by not going to having an accommodation at university in London. At the same time, he's got basically no social life, but he's chilling. So he's not spending how much on accommodation.
About 6k.
6k a year.
It's a lot of money. Yeah.
Like, most people at uni, they're living in like a box, and they're just watching their lectures online. They're doing Zoom calls for 6k.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, the only upside of it is you actually see people, but like more or less you probably see the people in your flat. That's it. Yeah. It's not really the greatest thing.
And in places like Manchester or Nottingham, they are in lockdown basically, so you can't go anywhere like to socialize in the town or city or whatever, and you're just trapped in your accommodation basically. So it's a bit peak.
Especially if you're in isolation, yeah. But on the bright side, yeah, in your flat, you can just focus. You got no distractions, hopefully.
True. But as we listened to Dennis, Michael, Monde, and Anush last week, they all were saying they have varied levels of actual work to social life. So what Anush said, Anush and Michael, they said that their work to social life is split like 35 to 65%. so they have a lot of free time.
65% social.
65% social, like free time.
Jesus.
So they're chilling.
I'll explain mine in a minute. Okay, keep going.
But Monday said that he had 35% free time. So it's because he's doing chemical engineering that he's got basically no free time. And yeah, so it's interesting. It's definitely interesting.
Hmm.
So Tugi, what's your situation? How much free time have you got?
Man's got. Alright, let me tell you. This is my timetable. Like on weekdays when I wake up, yeah, and weekends in a bit. Weekdays, wake up at 8, go for a run in the morning or something, and then get home by 9, eat by 9, and then lecture start at 9, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And then 9 to 1 for 4 hours you work straight, or study straight, and then I get like an hour break from 1 to 2. And then 2 to 5, it's another 3 hours of study, just studying, nothing else to be honest. And then from 5 o'clock I actually finally have like a good break where I can play the PlayStation, do something else, something to eat. And then usually I just work out, and then I have to be finished by 8, and then from 8 to 10 I have to study again for 2 hours. So that's what? 4 plus 3, 7 plus 2, 9 hours of studying a day, G.
Yeah, there's a lot of content in it.
It's more like, what you call it, 80, 20%, something like that.
80-20. But that's what you chose. That's what you signed up for, isn't it?
Yeah. I love it though. I like it. It's tiring, but you actually learn things you love. Yeah.
Like, I would rather right now that I'm not doing anything. I've got things that I have to study, but it's bare minimum. It's very easy. It's 12 hours a week, and
So that's what? How many hours a day?
like 2 hours a day, basically. If I do it 2 hours a day, I normally just do it like 8 hours, and then I have every other day is free time of the week.
Yeah.
So I'd much rather I have actual deadlines and like I have to have it this day where I have to study, but it's like very free. It's very flexible to accommodate other people if they at uni or whatever. That's what my course is. But because I don't have deadlines, well, I do have deadlines, but it's like you have 2 weeks to do this test at the end of the 2 weeks. It's very.
You will wait until the last day to do it.
That's what I do. Exactly what I do.
What happens. Tell me about your timetable. What do you do? Because you study 2 hours a day by the sounds of it. Yeah, what do you do with the rest? Because I haven't actually asked you this, to be honest.
At the moment, I pretty much wake up at like let's say 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Sometimes I try and wake up at 9 o'clock, but most of the time I look at my phone and I snooze it and then wake up at 12. But then I go downstairs, get some food or whatever, and then come back upstairs. I have a office space in which I can do work, but then I usually go on my phone till 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I'm like, oh, I should do something, and then I do a little bit of work. I do like 15 minutes, do one module, and then I go on my phone again. And then I do that for 5 days of the week, and then for the 6th day I actually do some work.
6th day you actually do something, because the last day,
because
you actually need to.
No, but we have scheduled we have like webinar kind of thing, Zoom calls.
Yeah.
So you have to be present. You don't have to be present, because like everything is optional, because everything's so flexible. I don't like it. It just like it promotes me being lazy because I can. You know.
I don't like that, bro.
So at the moment we have a mentor. My mentor is a founding partner of this company called Octopus Wealth, which is they advise people for investments, basically, like rich people or big companies, whatever. And I have a talk coming up, and it's very interesting to talk to him, because he's in the finance field and I want to go into the accountancy or finance sector. And it's just like it's very refreshing to talk to him, because he can see that I'm smart and intelligent. Like he can see I'm well put together, and it's very I feel like very respected when I talk to him, because he can see that I'm eager and ready to get an apprenticeship or get a job, because like that's just how I portray myself. And I just ask him questions, and like anything that I want to know about the industry that I want to go into. It's very good talking to him because he's very informed about the like business and finance side of
Yeah.
like his work, because that's what he does for a living. It's very nice to have a
Very.
mentor, someone to talk to.
He's very entrepreneurially smart.
Entrepreneurially
Something
smart.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good he respects you.
hmm and I've got a talk coming up on Friday, I think, and just talk to him about. Like, I asked him if he reads any books or any recommendations for me to read anything. He said
Yeah.
he doesn't read. He hasn't got time to. So what he does is he listens to a Spotify, it's called CNBC Fast Money. It's like a Spotify show for investors,
Yeah.
and it talks about the market just in like 20 to 40 minutes.
It's like
and
an audiobook.
It's like an audiobook, but it's very like news based. So it's like
Yeah.
a round table of investors, and they just talk about airplanes, or this S&P 500 stock is going down or up. Whatever.
Yeah.
He said he doesn't read, like, and that's it's interesting. Like,
It's pretty good because, to be honest, it doesn't really matter if you read or not. Like, people think if you read, you're automatically smart. But, like, if you don't read, then there's other ways you can be productive with your knowledge and time.
yeah,
Like, if you watch TV, yeah, you can watch TV on something that helps your knowledge.
yeah.
Or you can learn from an audiobook. So it doesn't really matter if you read or not. But yes. Then do you read?
No,
What? Oh.
I,
What happened to the book I gave you?
I read it.
You read it after. Yeah. Let me tell you a story. Yeah. I gave this book to him in what, like year 9. Yeah, year 9. I'm telling you, I gave this book in year 9. When did you finish it?
Last year, or this year?
Last year.
Last year.
Right, so it took year 9 to year 13. It took 4 years to read it. Yeah. Jesus. It says like 300 pages long.
This book, I started reading it the first like couple pages, so like 10 pages, in year 9 when he gave it to me, and then I
Yeah.
stopped reading it for 3 years, and then last year I actually sat down and read it, and I loved it.
It's a very good book.
Very good book, yeah. I'd recommend it.
It's probably one of it's a very simple, but probably one of the most informative books on financial things.
Yeah, it's called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah, I think everyone should read it. It's very good.
hmm
Tell us what it's about.
Basically, this guy, simple terms, yeah. This guy, his name is Robert, and he had his actual dad was poor, or what he defines as poor, and he had this friend who had a dad which he defined as rich, because the way they treat their money and their time is how they define if you're rich or poor. Basically, the rich dad, he didn't like work for his money. He didn't have a 9 to 5 job, and he didn't go to university and get a degree and then go into accounting or like one of these jobs that pays you well, because he thought that if you have a 9 to 5 job, you're just working for your money, paying off your bills, and then you got some left over, and then you spend that on something like a car or whatever, and then you do a 9 to 5 job, pay your bills, pay your house, and then you have that little spent over. It's just you're chasing the money, basically. You're in a rat race.
Basically, yeah. What people do is that they pay their bills first, they pay their expenses first, and then whatever's left over, they use it for themselves. But what do rich people do? Well, not rich, but like wealthy people.
The rich people, they spend money on themselves first before they pay their bills. So they put their money in investments, or they buy assets, basically, not liabilities like a car or a house. They make the money work for them. The most important quote of the book is, "The rich don't work for money, they make money work for them.
Yeah, that's very true. That's probably one of the things that changed my
Yeah.
mind about finance.
It just stuck in my head, and ever since I read that, like it's just made me wanna get into finance and business even more.
Yeah, I don't remember a single phrase from that book except that like that was the main thing in the book.
Yeah.
Don't make money work for you.
It's true though. Like
Yeah.
if you're just like chasing the money, and then I see all these people like trying to buy designer clothes and
It's cars,
there's nice cars and
jewelry.
all this, and what do they have left over? They have
No.
nice clothes and jewelry, and then what?
You think they're rich, but they're really not behind.
Have you seen the way Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg dress?
Yeah, I saw that little
They
picture.
wear a polo and some khaki jeans. That's it.
Yeah. The thing is, they're not. Their
And-
goal isn't to get rich. It's they have a goal in their mind for like Mark Zuckerberg, Zucker. Oh my days, Zucker.
Say it again. Zuckerberg.
I have this every Zuckerberg. Yeah, his goal was to like connect millions of people. What was it? He was like everybody in China. Yeah, apparently I don't know what it was. It's probably wrong. It's like everybody in China looks the same. How do you set them apart from each other? There's 1 billion people. But yeah, his goal was to connect people together. His goal wasn't to get rich, by the way.
Yes, it's interesting.
Just like that.
Just so many people chasing that.
Do you get rich from? If you chase the money, do you get rich, or do you get rich by chasing a goal and then making money from it?
On the side? It's like
Yeah.
Gary Vaynerchuk. What he says is you just follow your hustle, and eventually you'll make money.
Yeah. I've been wondering that. I was like, do you get money from trying to make money, or do you get money from doing what you really love,
And then the money comes.
and then the money comes as a side?
Hmm.
What did Bill Gates do?
What do you mean?
Or what did he do in terms of like, what did he do in this world that made him rich?
Microsoft.
Microsoft.
He built Microsoft.
I don't think his purpose was to get rich by Microsoft.
There's an example of Steve Jobs. There's a quote from Simon Sinek. He said that you have to start with your why, and that's how you get customers. Basically, what Steve Jobs did, he what he did was when he was describing things, most people describe things as buy a product. This is how we do it. This is why you should buy it. But when Steve Jobs described the first MacBook, he described it as, this is why we make our products. This is how we do it, and this is why you should buy it. And that was way more influential
Yeah.
to people, because at the time the Apple brand was so iconic. It was so different. It wasn't any better than the Windows brand. It wasn't any better than
Yeah.
Microsoft. It just was different, and that's why you should buy it.
There's something different about buying from Apple. Like, you feel different buying from Apple, right?
And now everyone's
probably-
got an iPhone.
Not everyone's got an iPhone, but like, when you have an iMac, it feels different from having just like a Dell, or I don't know what other computers are because I don't bother with them. I know they're probably as good yet, but I love Apple.
It's just the ecosystem. Everyone, you're buying an Apple product for the branding. You're buying it because your iPad, iPhone, and Apple TV sync up. You're buying it all because they're all the same, and it's so seamless how they integrate all their features together. You're not buying it because it's got a better processor, a better hardware. You're buying it because everything just links up so seamlessly.
Yeah. How can people use that in real life?
Start with your why.
That was your why.
If you're going for a job, you're gonna try and sell yourself to the company, right? And you have to tell
Yeah.
them why they should hire you. Everyone says, "Oh, I've got determination. I do this job very well," but
Yeah, yeah,
what
yeah.
what what does that what does that
Doesn't
mean?
really mean much at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I tell you, when you go for a job or any interview, yeah, like you gotta say things that mean something. You gotta be, what's the word? What's the word that Gary Vee says every time? Like, whenever someone asks him why he swears, it's gotta be authentic. Like, you can't just say you're hardworking or you're determined. Doesn't really mean anything. Everyone says that.
Mm-hmm.
But what's different? What's something that sets you apart from everyone else?
True. It's like what you was Tiggy was telling me why am I talking to him on this podcast today? What's the difference between him and other people? And I couldn't think of an answer off the top of my head, but I knew there was a reason. Because when I talk to Tugi, it's just like I feel like the conversation actually means something. I feel like I'm actually getting something out of the conversation. It's not to say that my conversations with other people aren't valuable. Of course they are, but I just
Yeah.
respect Tugi that much that I feel like I'm gonna come away from this conversation that with that I don't know what it's gonna be, but I feel like I'm gonna um, benefit from the conversation.
It's more knowledgeable.
Knowledgeable.
It's more deeply knowledgeable. Other conversations probably would be more fun and bantery. But yeah. So back to the interview, yeah.
Back to the interview. Not to
Back to
boast,
the interview.
but not to big up Tugi or anything, but that's my
Back to the
dog.
interview. Thank you, G.
Um,
Okay, what sets you apart from everyone? If I asked you, what's different about you?
me.
Why do you deserve this job? If someone asked you in a finance interview.
Are you talking to me? Oh,
Yeah,
are you?
no, I'm
Are you
talking to
to
my
another
dog.
person? My dog.
Okay.
Nothing comes off the top of my head.
Is it because you haven't done much?
Mm. Bro, the last time I did any let's say business or economics work was back at school, and I've done like finance and like, but we in our course we started we've done two modules. It was the first one was like the importance of data, and the second module
Yeah.
was marketing, and them two
Yeah.
are they're okay in their own sense. Like you obviously need them to, but to get into a as business fundamentals. However, it was a little bit boring, and like it's not that I didn't learn anything. It's just that it was just didn't really interest me, to be honest.
Is that an interview answer to me?
But I avoid the question.
Okay.
Um,
Usually I'd say something like, you should probably say something like if you haven't done any work experience, I'm pretty sure you talked about Grantas, right? You would say that you haven't done any like work experience, you have no
Yeah.
experience, you don't really know, but you'll try your best.
Yeah.
You know, in this case, you admit to them.
Mhm.
It's a good thing that you admit to them because you're being honest instead of being like, oh, I'm hardworking.
Yeah.
You admit to them and then say you're gonna work hard to learn something you're passionate about. And in an interview, people will feel that you're being authentic and real
Yeah.
instead of feeling like you rehearse this flipping answer 10 times, that why you're very hardworking. They will feel it.
Mhm.
So that's very good. But in any case, before you do some kind of job, you want to try and make sure you have some kind of experience. You want to make sure they know why you want to do this. Like for me, it was medicine, right?
Mhm.
For medicine, I went to do work experience at like 3 different places.
Mhm.
And don't do work experience or anything for the sake of just making it look like you did work experience. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But do work experience so that you can learn more about the business of what you want to do. You get me?
Yeah. That runs true of every single apprenticeship, because if you get an apprenticeship, if you're trying to get into an apprenticeship, you're basically starting from scratch, and
Yeah.
you don't know what you're going to do in the job role. I mean, it has a description, but you're just basically thrown into the deep end, into an industry, and you have to learn everything. Like
Yeah.
for me, if I want to get into let's say an investment bank, let's say I want to get into a commercial investment banking apprenticeship, I'm going to be going into a firm like Santander, and I'm going to have to learn all of these things 4 days a week, and then study the theory on the fifth day of the week. You have to show them that you're determined and you want to learn,
Yeah.
and if you don't do that, then they're just going to choose someone else that's more
Yeah.
hardworking or ready to learn.
It's very true. And whenever you do these kind of experiences, make sure you note down what you learn from it. Go there to learn, not just to make sure you look like you did experience. Because imagine an interview. You say, "Oh, I did work experience at this prestigious company,"
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "What did you learn from it, though?" And you don't know what you learned. What are they gonna say? Why did you go in the first place? So
True.
yes, that's one of the big messages from interviews.
If I'm speaking honestly, I think that's what I'm doing in this internship. Like, I'm doing it just to do something. It's not like
Yes.
I want to be doing it. It's nothing bad. It's like I'm doing something, I'm getting experience, but I don't think I'm gonna learn anything from it. Like
Oh.
I'm gonna forget I'm gonna forget everything after how many weeks,
Oh boy.
because it's so like bare bones and basic, so that
Mhm.
like it doesn't really interest me. But the thing that will interest me and like I will stick with is the fact that I have a mentor and someone to speak to. I remember everything that he
Yeah.
says.
That guy. Basically, whenever like you get this chance with anyone who's more experienced, whatever, from
Mhm.
you, just like don't be scared. Just ask them questions. You'll never regret it.
Mhm.
Ask them as many questions you can. Doesn't matter how stupid it is. Just ask them. You gain that knowledge from people who are more experienced than you.
That's the exact reason me and Tugi are best friends right now. Even he when I the reason I became friends with Tugi was he was the smartest like kid in the class in the school, and like I didn't not necessarily
Are you saying you use me? Yeah. Are you
became
trying to use
friends with
me?
him because he was smart, but like when I became friends with him, me and him were like just sort of friends, and then other people would tell me, "Oh, he's a smart kid," like to ask him about something, or like, and I'd think, yeah, that's my friend. Like, um,
Oh.
I will ask him because we're friends, and like he would tell me about anything, whatever.
Yeah.
But when I did have a problem, because we were taking the same subjects, I'd always go to him because I knew he could explain something to me very well. Like if he wasn't doing medicine, I'd expect him to be an extremely good teacher, because he explains things very concisely and very clearly, and I feel like he'd be a excellent fit for a
Mm.
teacher.
It does help like having someone else doing the same things as you, because
Mhm.
you get that kind of support. Even for me, yeah, like okay, maybe not in school. You didn't help me as much in school, yeah. But we did judo, right? In judo,
Yeah.
you were better than me in so many things, yeah. I would ask you how to get better at that, and you'd show me.
Mhm.
Just having that kind of like a friend or a partner to work with,
It's extremely beneficial.
yes, it's good to
Um,
have very friendly. What do you call it? Friendly competition.
yeah, I feel like that helped me in so many ways. Like seeing you be so much better at me than me at so many things would just motivate me to do all these things. But nowadays that everyone's doing their own thing they specialize in, it just
Yeah.
takes away from that competition. So
Yeah.
if you are still in GCSEs or A levels, I highly encourage you to get like someone that you can compete with, friendly competition, to just motivate you and just even a
Yeah.
little bit, even if in sports, okay, you've got a football team, you're in a basketball team, you just focus on that one person and make sure that you're better than them, or you're asking them how you can get better at all times. Like at
Mm.
any point you can, because even if they are better than you, if they are better than you at this a certain point, you can ask them, and there's no shame in asking them how or
Yeah.
why they are better than you at like whatever you're doing. It's just
Very true. Like, because we were in judo, yeah. Like it was like what you call it. It was like a cycle.
mm,
Like when I got better than you at some things, you would ask me why it's
mm,
getting better. You're like, why is your technique on this getting so much better? And then I'd show you, and then you'd make it even better than me.
you'd be like, oh, well,
And
I'd
I'd
be
be
like,
like, well, what
oh,
the fuck? Bro, I taught you that. And then I ask you how to make it better myself.
yeah.
And then I get better. And then you get better. And then it just keeps
It's
cycling
just so
up and up.
amazing.
Yeah, it gets really good. Trust me. Have someone like. But yeah, it's not just in judo. It's in everyday life. In
But
school, in anything.
yeah, but especially in judo, because you're even at any sport, because you're competing against them physically at the moment. So if you're in judo, if you're in any martial art, you're like you're fighting against them, and if they win against you, then they've basically bested you, and you basically want to know how they've bested you, and you can
Yeah.
implement that
And if they're
because
not telling you, don't bother with them. They're not a good person.
they're not a good friend.
Like, a real winner will always tell you how to get better, and they will know that they need to get better from you as well. They will always try and learn from everyone.
That
Yeah.
that is true in every single aspect in life and in any friendly competition you have. If if you're in business and you can see someone is like in the role that you want to go to. So if I want to be a business management just administrator, and I see this person on LinkedIn, I can message them and say, hey, can I have 5 minutes of your time? I want to ask you how you got into this role. And
Yeah.
if they are a good person, and if they want to help anyone, they will reach out back to you and say, yeah, thank you for the interest, and I will give you that 5 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever, and you can just talk to them and ask them questions. It's very, very
Yeah.
beneficial if you're in creative roles or business roles or anything. You should reach out to anyone that you see in your in the job role that you want to be in, let's say in 5 years, and ask them how they got to that job role, because they might say, oh, I've been in this job role for 15 years, but I started here, and that's where you can start.
It's very good. Always ask from someone more experienced than you. And if they don't want to give you any time to help you, then don't bother with them. Probably not as successful as you think they
Mhm.
are. If they are successful, yeah, they've probably got a lot on their plate to do.
Mhm.
But adding one more thing just for you to help someone is probably not gonna make any difference. So that's why they're successful. They want to help you. They want to help you rise up.
Mhm. It's the same to say about my mentor. He's a co-founder of a very large investment company, and he's taken the time out of his day to talk
Yes,
to me. Why would he do that? What's the point of doing that?
successful. He wants to help you get better as well. He's not looking to like make himself at the top like by putting everyone down. He's trying to help you up, and then once he finds people that are really good at things, he'll ask them for questions, and it's a
Mhm.
good cycle. Yeah. You know, one thing I saw in a book here, I'm reading this book right now, basically. Yeah. If you're the boss here of a company and you're going into a lift, like a lot of bosses go into a lift, right?
Okay.
And chances are one of your like colleagues will be in the lift.
Mhm.
And if you don't say anything, then that colleague will just be like, yeah.
Mhm.
But if you go in your lift, like it's not like you're doing anything in the lift. You have like 30 seconds of free time right there, yeah.
Mhm.
Instead of just saying nothing, just like say hello to your colleague. How you doing? Is there anything I can help you with? Anything you found it hard, etc. Get some like nice feedback. That colleague will feel noticed and just compliment them.
True.
Say like, "You're working hard. It's really good. I'm happy for you," and that
Okay.
will change that colleague's day.
yeah, people do like to hear nice things about them. Like there's a reason why words of affirmation is so many people love language, and
Yeah.
let's not get into love languages, but
Yeah.
it's it's people like to be noticed and they like to feel like you care about them. Even if you are a boss of a company, none of us are bosses of companies, so we can't talk about that. But if you are a boss of a company and your employees aren't feeling noticed and they are just like feel like, oh, you're just a corporate boss and you just care about money,
Yeah.
they won't
That
work
your
as hard.
business isn't going well.
Your business, yeah.
Yeah, your business.
Obviously,
But you don't have to be a boss.
let's just say,
Just say,
to your fellow colleagues,
yeah,
the workplace will be so much nicer to you and to them. It doesn't take anything out of your day to do that.
Yeah. Like, basically, I work at a retail firm, yeah, and basically there's cleaners, right? And the cleaners, because of Corona, they come and clean our tills.
Mm-hmm.
And when they come and clean our tills, no one speaks to them. Like, everyone just like disassociates from the cleaners. But I just want to be nice and like, I want to say, hello, how you doing? How's your day? It's simple. It takes like 10 seconds.
That's nice.
And they probably feel much better than they started.
Do you do that?
Just take. Do I do that?
Yeah, I'd be honest.
I am actually being very honest. I love doing that. Because they actually smile for once.
Oh, that's
I love
nice.
doing that, yes.
Nice.
Oh, one of the cleaners, they came back like another day, yeah. My mum gives me my haircut, yeah. Can't lie, yeah. It's not the best haircut in the world, is it? But then the cleaner was like, oh, you got a new haircut. It's really nice. I really like it. I'm like, oh, thank you. I only made my day, but you know.
Nice.
What goes around comes around.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's nice, man. Yeah, it's been nice. It's me and Tugi don't really get time to speak to each other that often because he's at uni, and obviously you heard that he's got basically a 9 to 5 job and he works on weekends. So yeah, it's been nice. I feel like I should have you back on the podcast. Been very insightful.
I definitely want to come back.
It's good. So yeah, thank you for listening. This has been a nice conversation.
Welcome.
Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you very much. You know what? You know what happened there?
Thank you for listening.
You said, no, you said thank you for listening. And I said you're welcome.
Anyways,
you were talking to me.
Anyways, thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to Mr. Gudonis' podcast. It's a very good podcast. I can't lie. It's much better than I thought it was. It's actually really nice to actually listen to this podcast. I'm telling you, one day if he continues this, he'll be very good at it. But for now, thank you for listening. Have a great week, everybody.
Peace out.
Peace out.